Hey, what do you say? All right, let's start thinking positive focus. Last 7 days, production related positive focus. What is going well in your business? Everyone has to participate. You can either unmute your line if it's really juicy and you want to share something. Our focus today, we're doing a get more listings mastermind. So if your positive focus is listing related, that would be even more awesome. But I want everyone either to raise your hand, unmute yourself, or go in the chat and share. And if you're one of our guests today, you're going to have a whole time. And the reason, guys, we do positive focus is because real estate is hard. This market is not forgiving at all, right? It's brutal, and it will get in your head if you let it. And the way we we refuse to let this market get in our head is just by sharing wins together, but also every day looking for the good stuff in your business. Just this mindset of looking for the good things will totally change the way you think. And it brings about this psychology of contentment, and you're always progressing. And it's going to fuel your ability to show up and kick ass in this market, right? If you're constantly not achieving and you're not looking at the good things and you're always looking at this, some goal ahead of you that you're not achieving, you won't have the energy and momentum and confidence to be able to get up and do the work that's required in this market. All right, more cameras on if you guys are able. 2 listings in pipeline, 2 more added in the last 24 hours. Dude, that's amazing. Justin, if you want to unmute yourself and talk lead source or anything to share. There, got a listing under contract last week. That's awesome. Got my first $1 million listing client. That is amazing. Received an offer on my listing last night. Had a showing today and tomorrow for different buyers. Possibly I have another listing coming up soon. Made connections this week and implementing daily lead gen. Yeah, I've shared it before. Like, I wish there was an easier way than just like doing the work, the things that work, and just doing them consistently. And then the compound effect of that is just ridiculous. And Anna Marie, especially with the little birdies you have around you that are looking at you to lead them into success, they're going to start doing those things, and it's going to be a massive compound effect. Awesome. Connection, lead gen, prices are coming down. Sellers are getting more realistic, like that one. 2 new listings from my sphere and past clients. Troy, I brought you on before, so it's just constantly reaching out to your sphere and past clients. Troy, anything more than that to share on getting 2 listings? Where are you?
Right here.
Let's see. Oh, there you are. Oh, that's why you confused me. There's 2 of you there.
Yeah, I got Brad with me today. Just been calling my sphere and past clients, and it's amazing how quickly people call you back. They're like, "Hey, my daughter's looking for a house," or "Boy, my mom's been talking about selling." So they're easy phone calls. They're so easy. You just got to do it.
All right, so you're calling me. What do you say?
Hey, Lars, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. It got cold
Yeah,
here.
yeah. How's your daughter? I saw on Facebook that she graduated from high school.
Yeah, she did. I'm happy to get rid of her, put her in college.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, just wanted to check in with you, see how you were doing. If you or the family ever need anything, just give me a buzz. Hope you're well. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, awesome. I'll definitely do it.
All right, man. Talk to
So,
you.
so you're not making a direct ask. You're literally just connecting with people.
That's it.
All
That's
right. I
it.
mean, it
Just,
can't be easier than that. That's not very threatening. You're not
it's
like,
not
hey,
threatening
saying
at
like,
all.
hey, I would be more direct. I'd be like, hey, this is how I would call people. Troy, I've got big goals in my business. I need your help. There's no listing inventory. Who do you know looking to sell? So that's like the most aggressive you can be.
Yeah.
And then Troy is literally just calling a friend,
Yeah.
right? So either way works.
And
But
it's an easy phone call and people answer, and I've
yeah,
tried the other approach. And we just live in a society where everyone's getting pinged and called and asked favors, and people just don't answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
anyway,
Awesome.
that's it.
Love it. Yeah. Chris says to, and Richie, you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you want to share.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Troy, for sharing that, brother. I'm trying to do the same thing with my database referral type of thing as well. And I'm like more about like the pop buys and the gifts and the client events. I think make a difference. But I want to hear from you. Like, are you doing some of the pop buys and the client gifts as well? But do you think it's more of the one-on-one, just reaching out and talking to people is more impactful, or is it a combination? Like, what do you think is the real money here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's for me, I think it's the front of mind. I mean, we do Client Giant, which is a gift a quarter. Something goes out to the top 50 past clients. And then it's also I do 4 videos a month on YouTube. So I send my sphere, hey, here's a video on why now might be the best time to purchase a house, or here's a video on South Minneapolis and this really cool neighborhood. And I think it's just a combination of all those things. So pop buys are great. I mean, I don't do a lot of pop buys, but for the agents, I do, go have dinner with them or hang out or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. And from a leverage standpoint, and maybe I'm just like way more antisocial than the normal agent. Pop buys are really hard to scale, and you're like, man, I got to pop by like all creepy style. And that's just my mindset, like just randomly pop by someone's house. But Client Giant really, really does work. And it's like essentially, and Jessica, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like it works out to be like $10 per month. So it's a quarterly gift. It's $10 per month per client. So like you load in your AAA. So if you have like 500 people that know you, but 50, like if there are 50 people that if they have enough influence to be able to bring you, like just keeping in touch and adding value, they could possibly bring you a piece of business. I would put just the 50 in there, so the return is really massive when you have the right people in there. And you just review it every 12 months, you just maybe cycle 10% out. You bring, every quarter you look at the list again and bring it back in. So massive, massive leverage. Jessica was really good at this on the real estate team. My Jessica Fitzgerald, in terms of gift. There's actually a book called Giftology, and I think Jessica is a giftologist. So it's a book worth reading, and Client Giant just kind of systemizes it, which is really, really cool. Michael Wygand, you had to know I was going to call on you when you dropped that goodness in there, right? Just got 5 new listings from past clients. So one client sent you like 5 listings, or you got 5 listings from 5 different past clients?
No, one listing from a past client. I think they're actually going to buy too. So it's going to be a sell buy. They're trying to move up. It's a young couple. And the other is some folks that I've known for a while, and it is an estate. It's the guy's sister-in-law passed away. So I'm helping them sell 4 houses that they owned and rented out. So both of those came from just building relationships. It's all about just nurturing relationships, people that I'll see them at church and check in every once in a while. And sometimes it's as simple as just saying hello. But no, both of them are relationships that I nurtured for a long time. And when it's time to do real estate, they call me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And Sasha made a good point here. So this is the time of year, I mean, like really across the board, that agents just check out. And it's this self-fulfilling, I think some of it is just this self-fulfilling, like, well, no one's going to want to sell around the holidays, or, I'll sort of rekindle everything first of the year. But Sasha says pipeline is filling up with buyers and sellers waiting until first of year. So you're just building a pipeline, even if they're really not going to do anything until the first of the year. You're getting them, locked in now and just adding value. Really good. Two new listings. Richie, same source, just Sphere past clients, just keeping in touch with people.
Yeah, referral. I got an awesome referral, and then a buddy of mine that just sees me posting stuff on Facebook. He was a friend of mine since middle school, but we've never talked. We were never cool. He actually interviewed an agent, wasn't liking the vibes, gave me a call. Bada bing, bada boom. It's going to be a home run. It was awesome. He's very happy.
And is your social stuff? I see you pretty active on social media. Is that how that childhood friend probably just knew of you? And
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm not a huge advocate about social 100%, but I do think you should be making sure people see you out there, doing some sort of sale and accomplishing something in real estate, and then that might give you the opportunity.
yeah, I do. I like the way you do it though. I mean, most of your stuff is like, it inspires me. Like, man, he's at the gym at 5:45 again. Like, and usually taking a picture of some saying on a coffee sign or, so I think there's a way you could do it, where you have to do it, period. There's no getting around it. So find a way that you could do it that feels good for you and just model people that, I mean, Richie's selling a ridiculous amount of homes. He wants to sell more, of course, but just model somebody that's doing, just model a handful of people that are doing social in a way that you can vibe with. And, there's plenty of people out there that you can't connect with on social, but there are people that are using it wisely and strategically. Brittany says, first listing in pipeline from a previous client. They're building $1 million custom home, first $1 million client. That's awesome. Home on market there. Yeah, that's awesome. Signed listing agreement on Monday, home on the market by Thursday, under contract on Friday. So the market's still crazy. Hey, Joni, anything to share on the 2 new listings coming up? Since today is the Get More Listings Mastermind.
Previous client, they are downsizing due to health issues, which is kind of sad. Young guy and his family. So I'm listing his house and we're meeting with a builder tomorrow to move into a smaller townhome. And then my girlfriend, her mom just went into assisted living. So they called me to come and get that on the market as soon as they get everything out and get it cleaned and we get it staged. And then I just got a new buyer from the guy that laid my floor in my house. I just tell everybody what I do and say, I love what I do. And if I can help or of somebody that kind of needs real estate, keep me in mind. And that was 2 years ago. And his girlfriend just reached out to me and I got her son set up on a search. So for me, it's all about connecting and telling people what you do and just being easy about it. I'm never salesy.
Awesome. I like that. Thank you for sharing. Finalizing the sale of 20 new home. Jim Fury. The Fury. Where are you? Anything you can share on that we can learn from?
The buyer is a builder client of mine that we've been representing for, a dozen years or so. And he was looking for something. And the seller was a developer that I've just known of really for 20 years. So he had something in the works and we put it together. We've been working on it for 6 months, but it finally came together.
Awesome. Did you happen to be on TJ's call last week and then Nathan's call like a month before that? Anything you can quickly share with us around this, like working with builders, new construction that might be valuable in terms of getting listings?
Yeah, well, I do it on a whole different scale than what those guys do. They're, 1,800 lots and I'm 20 and 50 lots here and there, that type of thing. It's just relationships, like everyone's been saying. These are all people I kind of keep in touch with, and probably 40-50% of my business is new home sales anyway. So we'll sell those 20 houses as new builds. And
awesome. So what one thing could you tell someone that's never talked to a builder or developer and they want to sort of start to get into that? Is it like the guys mentioned, just find, people building and walk up to how would you kind of get into those conversations?
I'd say in one, maybe it was Nathan, one of those guys mentioned just understanding the new construction first, so that you've got a little bit of knowledge there, and from the builder's perspective, and then you can provide a service to them, because builders have different needs than a regular seller, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And the thing I'm seeing in the thread, Client Giant, the thing about Client Giant and Giftology, maybe it's a client giant thing. I don't know if it's from the book Giftology. They send out on purpose, and there's psychology around this, gifts that are not branded. It's not swag, so I mean, if you guys send the stuff I'm about to mention out, don't take it personally, but does anyone want like a thing with your name on it? Like when you get those cheesier gifts that are not high quality and they're branded to some random whatever, do you really value it? So Client Giant, they essentially they bulk. So it'll cost you, and Jessica said it's $99 a year or $10 per month. So you pay a little bit more if you pay it monthly. But essentially they've got so much purchasing power because they're sending out like, I don't know how many thousands or tens of thousands of the same gift for everyone. And I think Justin is on here as well. Justin, the Client Giant guys well personally, right? Anything to share on Client Giant? There's no affiliate. I don't make any money on it, but Justin, anything to share on those guys?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It's unbranded. It's just really like a nice touch that's coming from you and getting that like personal touch, not the company touch. And they're just really creative gifts that are never the same and always high quality. And it's much cheaper if you try to replicate it than doing it yourself. They do it at a high level for a really good price. So
yeah. Have you used any of they're like, I don't know what they call it, but they have like
I did a home anniversary gift, birthday gift. I've even used it for my staff that's on payroll. So like if they've been here a year or two, they send them like a little year gift thing. They give them birthday gifts. They give them their own little packages. So there's different packages for not just for clients, it could be for employees or whatever.
And how about the package that's like, I may be misspeaking, but like the buyer under contract package? Or
I use that. I use that a lot. We modified it a little bit, or we added to it. So we've added a couple extra things to the package. But yeah, it's like basically when it goes under contract, it sends them a little gift that says, hey, congratulations, you're under contract. Here's a like head scratcher, a cup of tea, and something else to like, if anything goes wrong in the deal, don't worry, like relax because we're going to take care of it or something like that. And we also give them a package like with 3 bottles of champagne that say like, hey, here's, the next 3 steps of the process. One is accepting the offer. One is removing contingencies and one is closing. So pop that first bottle. Congratulations. And then they do a little touch. And then when they remove contingencies, there's another touch like, hey, congratulations. Here's like, tickets to the movie, go out and celebrate, like, whatever. So there's like all these little touches that you can do it. And there's different levels. You can do like for the lower end stuff, that's like a $500,000 one, or you can do something that's for a $3 million package where it actually has a car service, pick them up and take them to dinner for their closing gift. So there's all kinds of different stuff and they'll coordinate all that for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. And so our goal, one of our lead gen levers in Real Estate B School is to literally turn every client into at least one additional closing. And that's, so some people look at it, and I don't even know the investment, but an easy way to do that is through gifting, through all the turbulence, like nobody loves the process of moving and everything that comes along with it. But that's just an easy way that you guys can turn every closing into one additional transaction. And that's client care as a lead gen lever. So that's really, really good. Awesome. So Richie says cold calling in the mornings are getting good answers since people are off this time of year. Awesome. Pie and Client Appreciation Day. Free turkey basket raffle. Oh, I like that. Have over 100 names that signed up and contacting now. Sold a listing from a person coming to pick up a pie. Melissa Thompson, where are you? Share more on that one.
Yeah, it's just a great way to connect. We had 150 pies and everybody's done a pie day, but it's a lot of work. We zero base it, so it's not any money for us. But a past client came in to pick up a pie and then was talking about his daughter was getting ready to buy in the spring. And I was talking about this condo we had listed, it was just perfect. So sold it on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So great connection, just by something you're just giving away and making connections again. So, but it works.
And you do it where like you stage the pies in the office and people come in?
I do 10 to 5 on Tuesday. Yes, when they come in and make connections that way. But we did the whole Like now we're emailing and texting even during the event to make people come, but I've set it up in Go High Level that we can do it that way too, but just separate touches instead of, calling so many days before. Now they're getting constant reminders and we have more people come in. A lot of people just forget or they get busy, all the things. But it was very successful. So we gave away probably 95% of them, when sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Very cool. Let me see, make sure I don't miss anything here. Yeah, the 5 Ds. So they're divorce, debt, default, downsizing, disaster. I didn't know there were 5. There were 4. Divorce. Oh, death is probably the first one. Yeah, that's not a good one when you got to sell. All right. 99 per client. So 15 clients minimum. Yeah, so I technically, Jessica reminded me, technically I am an affiliate for Client Giant, but their margins are so slim that there's really not a lot of money in it. So if you want me to buy like a cup of coffee, you can sign up through me. And I will cheers you as I drink the delicious coffee. Supporting local, win-win, the owner. Yeah, we did a training on like using Facebook Lives to kind of support local businesses and the goodness that comes as a result of it. I would definitely check that one out as well. All right, let's get at our calendar, team committed to when they are working and when they're taking off. Yeah. It's really easy to slip this time of year and just kind of slide into like, yeah, I'll just take off, December 18th through January 2nd. I'll just take those 14 days off. And then it's like when you take 2 weeks off from working out, like that next workout back is so hard to do. It's the same thing with kind of letting everything go to zero. All right, so let's get we've got a couple special guests here. I want to bring on. Let's start with Victoria first. And I just saw you a split second ago, but you moved on my screen. We have got a couple of special guests here. There you are. That are I'm just gonna do kind of a mini interview. We're gonna spotlight Victoria. So we're gonna kind of pick into a couple businesses here where Solid Agent brings in listings consistently, and just kind of pick your brain a little bit on what have you done to consistently generate listings. So Victoria, you are spotlighted for everyone to see. So share us like a minute or two on your market, how many years in real estate, and then we'll get into like 2 or 3 things that you do consistently to generate listings. But give us kind of a summary of who you are and what you do.
So, hi everyone. Good to meet you all. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. So I'm in Northern Virginia market and specifically Loudoun County. I've been in the business really since 2015 on my own. I worked for the builders before that for several years, but I am actually focused more on geographic farm, and it just happened, I guess, by default. And all broker of mine told me, Victoria, if you really want to build dominant, place in the market, start from your own street instead of spreading, everywhere. You want to be everywhere at the same time. So I literally took that, to heart, and I just went and started from my street. And from my street, I went to, there's 4 villages in my community. Then I worked within my village and then spread to entire community. And there's about 2,500 homes in my community. To me, the biggest, the game changer to really, we do, I'd say 75, if not 85% listings in our community, which is a huge number, right? And we typically really, really heavily rely on social media. I also created a real estate page for my community only, which I'm an admin and I manage and so on, and very much embedded in community. I'm also on a board of directors for our community social group. So we, organize social events. We're embedded with our charity events, unit community. We support heavily all local businesses. So and you got to make noise about everything you do, right? So that's really what's been a game changer. We even have our own local magazine that we support, and we actually advertise on the back page of the magazine, because otherwise it's wasted time, wasted money. When you're in the front or back page of a magazine, you have a 50% of chance to be seen. And that's sent to every household every month here in our community. So, a lot of different ways to engage and to remind people what you do, who you are, and so on.
Okay, so let's, and this is something I have not cracked the code on, is, and most agents fail at this because they want to like start a farm and close a deal in 45 days. So unpack for someone that wants to, like, there's a 2,000 or 3,000 home community, like literally step by step, how would they go into, because you feel like a genius when you're in year 5, 6, and 7 of doing this, but when you're in the first 6 months, you're like, holy cow, all this sweat equity or money, or kind of break it down for us so we can, anyone can implement this.
I think it's really important to understand this doesn't work overnight. Mm-hmm. Step number 1. Step number 2 is you got to be patient and you have to stay at it, right? My first thing I was doing is, and especially when you're first starting, I was huge in open houses, and I would literally go and do sometimes 4 times a week open house in my community. If I have a listing, I am there 4 times a week, literally. And it's not even that, I know that, Thursday, Friday open house, or we called it a happy hour Thursday, happy hour Friday. Open house is going to be like massive full of people. It's more about sticking my sign in a yard, putting on our community pages, hey, I'm here today, come see me. We're working hard to move this listing. Bring your family, bring your friends. Why don't you come and tell me, how did we do getting this house for listing? Send in a message and just invite them without trying to sell them something. Just tell me, give me feedback. How do I do? And come meet me, So this was really, this was so important, because regardless of the social media, regardless of the flyers we're doing, personally connecting with your community is, I think, most powerful thing. And then all the other things have to be a follow-up things and sort of reinforcements of that personal connection, right? Like magazine and social media and so on. So being in front of the people was a huge game changer. And that was the hardest thing in the beginning, because I work all the time and I'll barely be home, especially when you have a weekend. Your Saturday and Sunday is disrupted because the open house is 1 to 3. We do 2 hours, but it's in the middle of a day. So this is how I started. So, you have to have a patience, and you have to do it literally every week. I remember 1 month I did 23 open houses. So you meet so many people, right? You meet so many people. Our average price point here is $1.5 million to $2 million. So when you do 60 listings a year, it's really, it works out. It really does, right? So I think that was the most important thing. And then when I was financially good enough, I was like, let me go ahead and put myself on a local community newspaper, where I'm actually in the back of the page, which can be very expensive. You don't have to do that. You can do flyers. You can take, I'm going to send flyers to 200 homes. You don't have to send it to everybody. Send it to very, very close proximity to you, like maybe half a mile, or even honestly, half a mile is plenty, because especially if you're more in a concentrated community, you'll hit more homes, but you want to work directly closer proximity to you. And of course, you want to connect with influencer in your community. Like talking and connecting with the influencers in the community. The people are very loud on social media. And in general, you want to be on a good side of these people. You may not need to be friends with them, because sometimes that's difficult, but be on their good side. Because I'm telling you, they're so vocal, they will affect 100 people, while somebody who's really great person, but not an influence, may affect 1 person, or just you can have them as a loyal client, but you really need to connect with the influencers in your community.
And is that like, so an influencer could be like a local business owner, or they're on the HOA, or they're on the PTA, or like the people that...
Lars, it's the person that's on social media 24/7 and post about everything because, they're just at home and they have time to do that, or they simply think that's the important thing to do. You want to be on a good side of these people. So what we do for every Thanksgiving, holiday, even we're big on community events, right? And these events can be very inexpensive events. And it's not about making this, we'll do big event once a year, which is massive, but smaller events just to make noise about it. Hey guys, I'm going to be here. We're going to do wine tasting and we're going to, come say hello, come do free wine tasting. I literally call a client of mine who owns a winery, hey, why don't you bring some wine, or I'll purchase a couple of, cartons of wine. Let's just do wine tasting. Why don't you, or somebody who works with, come and tell us about the wine? And my husband owns a creamery, so he'll bring the cheese and that's it. But the point is before, during, and after. Before, you're going to talk about it, announce it. Say, hey guys, come, it's free wine tasting. We want to give back to our community. We really want to know you and the person that sent us so many referrals. You say that out loud because people are like, oh, did I send her referrals? Maybe I should. Maybe I can. Now people are thinking, hey, and I'll have people come and call me, I've sent you that person. And then they actually feel almost obligated to say something, right? So they'll come and then you're going to meet them. And I'll always have some social media around there, post the video, here's where today, and we're posting about it. And then afterwards we're posting because we're thanking them for being there. So it's just consistently having something to talk about, and again, that was a very cheap event, maybe a couple $100. Again, that doesn't have to be big because typically, how many people are going to show up, maybe 30, maybe 40, maybe 50. We had an event last week, we had over 170 people. That was in my backyard. I didn't pay anybody. Everybody came, but it was a big event. That was more of a glamorous event. But that's not how it has to be. It's more about really creating noise about who you are, what you're doing for your community. And by the way, we're supporting local business. This homeowner is our community, resident, and we want to support his business. So come learn about his wine. And we are gifting the wine tasting. So it's wow, they're supporting local business. And look, they're working with the neighbors. And you got to be really, really purposeful about every connection.
Yeah. And so you may get 1,000 you may get 1,000 people say, oh, Victoria's hosting this cool thing. And then 30 people show up, but you still got credit for 970 people seeing it.
It's all about the noise, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Attention brings money, right? Attention.
What other things like that? So there's a lot of, sweat equity that went into starting this. So there's no budget. And did you say 23 open houses in a single month?
Yep. And that was just not once. We did that. Oh my gosh, we did it. If I have a listing and we have several, we're a small team, we're a small team. It's really 3 agents. But if I have an open house and our listing, we're going to be there. I don't care. And, and I hate to say this a lot of times, local agents will not like that because we're setting a precedent. I'm not doing it to make anybody look bad. I'm doing it to connect with people. And I've met some amazing people in the community that gave me business just because they met with me. I had a guy call me yesterday. It's we met you at the open house. No one ever takes time or approaches it to really have a personal conversation with us. Every person that comes in is your best friend. Obviously, we know that. But just connect with people on a personal level. You try not to sell them anything, talk to their kids and all that stuff. Everybody knows that. I'm just preaching to the choir.
Yeah. And anything on just open houses, anything that you do to prep signage or how you structure them? Do you look for do you just door knock and make sure the neighbors know about it? Do you call ahead of time? Anything like that?
So, in our community, there's no soliciting. But I think one thing that we do is we really blow it up on social media, on our local pages, on our community pages. Sometimes say, hey, what are you guys doing for a weekend? Let us know. We're scheduling our showings. We just put it on the social media. Well, you guys got to live on the social media today. If you're not there, nobody knows where you're at. Nobody cares where you're at, right? You just got to be there, right? So to us, it's big on social media. It's an open house, and and people come I have groupies. They'll just come to talk to us and see how we decorated our listing, right? But it's a good connection. People like to see, and then they're like, oh, neighbors came for the idea of how to do their living room, or what did you paint? Because we are white glove service where we paint, we have contractors to do everything in stage. So there's a lot of reasons people want to come and see you. But hey, you always ask for business. I'm always here if you need anything, if you anybody who needs this. And then now we have a QR code. They have to scan, and by scanning they register. And then we'll have the other thing too that we started doing is really cool. We'll have a raffle. Like if you register and you give us a review on Google, you have a chance to win something. And in one day we had like 40 something reviews.
And you're asking people that come into the open house to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I said, if you give us a review, there's a raffle. Like we did on this event, I had a bunch of things, and all of my vendors gave gifts. I didn't do anything. Well, I did actually. We had a exclusive dinner from our company, but most of the gifts came from my clients who are also business owners, and we were giving like 10% towards Closet by Design, who's my neighbor, and free wine tasting, and free carpet cleaning, also a guy that we use, right? So, like leverage your vendors, but be purposeful about everything you give. Like you want a gift, you want a free gift, you need to register and you need to give us a review.
That's awesome. I love that. I've never even heard of that before. The QR code, this may be just, I don't understand the technology. Does it?
You guys want to give us a review? Look how cute this is.
Yeah. So I'm going to scan it. Hold it still.
Can you give me a review? Can you guys give us a review?
You're moving it. No, hold on. All right. So how does it, so that's like a card that you would have at the open house and you give it to them.
It's an open house event.
It says it's
anywhere.
been disabled. It says it's been disabled for some reason.
Oh no. Is it disabled?
I'll check.
Okay. So this was for a few weeks ago. Let's check it.
So essentially you'll have a QR code that brings up a form for the buyer to put in their information.
Yep.
No, that goes.
And so there's two. This is for review. The second one is the QR code that goes to my CRM.
Right. And it just has register for the open house and whatever. Okay. Awesome.
It just saves you steps, right? It saves you steps. And it's all about saving steps, because we know if we don't do it right away, we're not going to do it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay,
you
cool.
Just program yourself for success, right?
Real quick, last question. Setting up a community page, or even picking a community, is it typically the one you live in and you're going to be around and that you care for? What if there's another competing page, that some other person started? Do you start it anyway? Like, how do you go about doing that?
Oh, they can have whatever page they want to have. Who cares? Our community has 50,000 different pages. I swear, I don't even track anymore. You want to make a page that is very specific. So can it be learn about real estate, or like for me, it's just a real estate of our community, right? And everybody who's selling or buying in the community, and it's exclusive to our community members, because I don't let anybody outside to be part of the community page. The reason why is because then all the other agents are going to start, chiming in. You want to make this page exclusive, number one, and it's really to contribute to the community back. And the way you contribute is like, hey guys, if you want to post your house, you're thinking of selling, please reach out to us. If your house is in a market, if you see somebody else, you're allowed as a Willisford resident to post it here, so we Willisford agents can help you move your house faster. And maybe there's neighbors that have friends and family they want to bring into the community. Or it can be about a contracting business, and be about anything. So just be very specific. And here's what I'll tell you: people do things, but then they're going to get lazy and they're not going to manage it, but you will manage yours. So keep inviting people to your page through, keep inviting people through a page through just, hey, thank you for joining. Hey, thanks to 12 people that just joined, or like Posted another page, by the way, this is exclusive page for our residents. Please come, we're growing, our community is growing. Check out the great things you can actually see on our page. Give them, like, once a month, I would invite people.
Yeah, and obviously if they come to an open house, then you say, make sure are you in our Facebook page? Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. This was awesome. Any other final tips in terms of taking more listings in this squirrely market?
You know what? Here's, I think the best tip is that this is industry where people want quick gratification. That's one thing that everybody tells me, like, Victoria, we call you pick up, we text you pick up. I have people monitoring my social media. And if I have a text or so, like, I'm like, you got to call. Like, on my phone is calling, like, you got to call this person. So be quick on it. And also offer something different than anybody else offers. Because you may think it's a little bit less money, but when you're at 75, 85% of listing, like, who cares? Because you're going to make so much more money than anybody else, right? So just think about something unique that you can actually offer as a listing agent to your sellers. Because everybody's doing the same thing, but what is that you going to really do differently than anyone else? So
And
think about that.
Yeah. So for example, yours is the white glove service. Your home is going to stand above. We're going to get it ready for sale, put a little bit of, or a lot of extra effort on the front end to make sure you get top dollar.
That's right. Yeah. And it's like, literally, give me the key. We'll do everything.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
it's more about managing than, we don't pay for it, but we manage it, we organize it, and we provide, like, I have a staging company too. So that's,
Awesome. Awesome, Victoria. Thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing with us. I wrote like a whole page of notes on everything you said. So I'm sure you could speak for another hour, but appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Really good. Holy cow. That was good. Where is Megan? We got Megan.
Hi.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. All right. I think we just have you, right?
Yes.
Not that it's just you. I mean, you're probably the whole entire operation. So let's kind of break it down the same way. So I know we were emailing back and forth, and you guys are and I was talking to Greg about you guys as well, and like, yeah, they just think the stuff they're doing is normal, But I know you guys have some good stuff to share. So let's quickly kind of break down the business, 1 or 2 minutes on what the business looks like. And then let's get into like your 1 or 2 things for anyone that can go do and sort of like build up their listing inventory.
So yeah, it's my husband and I started the business. Well, if you guys know Dave Ramsey, I have sort of a little bit of a Dave Ramsey story. I graduated college and got a government job here in the DC area and started buying rental properties right away. And when I met my husband, Alex, I had, over $1 million of mortgage debt, and he is a Dave Ramsey through and through type person. So he almost had a heart attack, that I had mortgage debt and that I had tenants and that I was managing all of these people. So, anyway, that is how I started in real estate, just investing. That is what I'm still most passionate about. And then long story short, I decided we had a good win in the government world, and I decided to get out of that. And the Lord led me to get licensed and start my own real estate business to buy and sell for other people. I wasn't new to the real estate world. My dad's side of the family was in home building, and they built a lot of the neighborhoods that are in Northern Virginia. They were the largest home builders in America in the 50s and 60s. Of course, it was a different time back then, but a lot of the neighborhoods are named after my family members. So I sort of grew up feeling real estate was in my blood, and it was like a natural thing to do. So yeah, so we've just started growing a small team, and we're excited about that and love our agents. And that's a little bit about us.
Awesome. And I have to see the sign behind you. So you have to move out of the way so I can see. Team Thiel, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Home. I love that. That's good. All right, cool. So break it down. What tactically, what advice would you give us in terms of like, the market? And I guess just coincidentally, I don't know if you and Victoria are in the same market. I know DMV is a big market, but I don't know if you guys, just coincidentally, we have two agents from a similar market. But just break it down. Like, what advice would you give someone who's looking to expand their listing inventory in the current market?
Yeah, I would decide what lead pillars you're going to focus on, and I would do fewer rather than, more. And I would just drill down and focus on them. So we do sphere and past clients. We do 5 checks on every listing taught by you, Lars. We do online leads, where Dave Ramsey's #1 endorsed realtor in the DC area. And we do realtor.com, and we used to do Zillow. And then we do an expired system. And that's probably even more than we need to do, but we do those 4 lead pillars and we just drill down and focus on them. This year, I decided at the beginning of the year that I wanted to focus on luxury. So we have been really focusing on luxury. And so I tried to focus on 3 million and above. By God's grace, I've been able to do 5 million and above on the luxury side. And that's been a blessing and something that we hope to expand and move forward with.
Yeah, so let's touch on that. Greg was telling us we had a coaches meeting, and Greg was saying like, yeah, Megan took like some listing, and meanwhile he's in this market where the average price point is like, he has to sell 500 homes, to get to a reasonable amount of volume. But one of your listings was like some crazy price point, right?
I do have a $22 million listing right now, and a 10 million, 5 million, and we're getting paperwork signed on an 8 million.
So not to shift this into like luxury, but what can you tell us about? And I love how you put God in the center of it, so that's probably a big part of the equation. But what did you do in addition to, giving it to God?
Yeah, thanks. Yes, I will say all of the blessing of this real estate business is handing it over to the Lord and asking him to do what he would with it. So that's the first thing I would say. We decided to focus on expireds to break into the luxury market because at the time, our normal sphere and our normal business hasn't been at that price point. So we just thought that would be the best way to escalate it into a new price bracket. Thankfully, just the sellers that we wound up talking to, we just had excellent rapport, great initial meetings with. One of the sellers of my $22 million house, he said his girlfriend's grandfather, I know this is really convoluted, his girlfriend's grandfather found an old thank you letter from my uncle, who was a congressman for about 40 years, a U.S. congressman, to the grandfather. Thank you so much for your support, blah, 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 Joel Broyhill. And so he was like, wow, you guys really are the local people. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. That was just an unexpected blessing to give us credibility that we really have been here for 4 generations. We really do know the market, and so just some unexpected connections with the people that we were able to meet with, I think helped with that. We have worked very hard to do our marketing differently. And so we invested a lot in some phenomenal video content, and we're able to get some people to be actors in our so basically we did a commercial with actors and really excellent filming. That's just like a side passion I'm thankful to be able to use. So we've just tried to elevate our service above what other people are doing. And I think that it's helped.
Yeah. So let's break down on the, because we did a training. I'm not sure if you saw it, that Janie Coffey she moved to a new market, St. Augustine, Florida, and she I think she had done luxury before, but she was new to the market, and she broke into the luxury market through luxury expired. So can you break it down sort of like how would you even go about finding, are you going back 3 or 4 years and like really looking at every property above a certain price point and seeing if it's sold? It's probably more like, it's not the masses, right? It's less, but you're doing a little bit more work. Describe the process and how you were able to kind of get into that.
Yeah, we're just honestly following the Janie Coffee system. I just thought, well, she's done it, and I watched her training that you put out, and so I just thought, well, that seems to work. I'll just follow that. So we're doing her system, and yeah, and then just trying to convert on listing appointments when people call, and then trying to leverage every listing. So certainly, each listing that we got has, and then the marketing that we've produced based on those listings has helped us to get more listings.
Yeah. So to talk about that part, what's the compound effect of it? Are you like doing a just listed, just sold on each one and going out and mailing the other expireds? Like talk about like tactically how you go about it.
So we have tried to, so we've done a sip and see, like an elevated luxury sip and see, fully catered, live music, just a better sip and see than you would see. So depending on the seller, some people, especially at this price point, didn't want just anybody walking through their house. So we did one where we invited embassies, because it really was a property that would attract could be an ambassador's residence. So we invited embassies, or the seller allowed us to invite our sphere. And so we did some of that to make sure we could fill the 17,000 square feet. And we invited luxury brokers at another sip and see event, just to try to get as many people through the property as possible. And then created that really, really great, I think it's great, a great commercial based on the property. And so we've been using that in our marketing, and that our sellers have seen that we're investing more than other agents are. We're truly investing more and doing more.
Yeah. So is there some place on your social that people can go and see that commercial?
Yes, I was actually just thinking we should post that again. So everybody follow me on Instagram or Facebook. It's Team Thiel. THIEL. What is team dot teal or team dot Thiel? THIEL on Instagram. And I will have my assistant post it again.
Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of like, I talk to a lot of real estate agents, and there's always this mentality, and Victoria kind of covered it a little bit, that there is this, you need to sweat equity your way into some of these things so you have the financial resources to be able to invest. But most of these listings, I mean, you didn't spend a lot of money to get into the opportunity, and you had faith that you were going to sell it. So you knew you had the money. I mean, even 2.5% of 22 million is a ridiculous amount of money. So how do you view the investment side of it? Like how much of mentally, what are you prepared to invest to elevate it, knowing that you'll get future business, but you'll also sell the listing?
Yeah, that's funny, because Alex, my husband, he's an engineer. He is just the numbers guy, very cautious.
Hey, I'm an engineer. Take it easy on the engineers.
No, it's great. It's great. That's why he wanted to go with your coaching program, Lars. He's like, this is my guy. So I had to be like, Alex, let's just have a little faith. Trust me, we have to do this really amazing job for this one, and it will work out. We will get more listings. And it did. And now that we're on I've gotten all these other listings. He just keeps shaking his head like, you were right. It did work. And by God's grace, I mean, Alex has built such an amazing, consistent business, where he just has pounded the pavement year after year, and has a good number of sales every year that we had the money to invest. It was expensive. It has been expensive marketing these luxury listings, but yeah, it's a longer turn. It's not a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day. It's a longer process, but
Yeah.
luxury homes sell every day. So
Yeah, for sure. And if you do one a month above 5 million, I mean, that's 60 million. I mean, that's over $1 million GCI just from that one leg of the business. And you guys still do hit the singles and doubles and 500, 700, $1 million.
yes. On Sunday, not Sunday. Oh, what? Saturday? I don't remember. Before we left for Thanksgiving break on a day, I went from a listing appointment around 5 million to a listing appointment for 400,000 to a listing appointment for 2 million. So we are still doing, different price points. And I hope it's a testimony and a witness that each person is important and valuable, and we want to do a great job. The marketing may be different depending on the price point, what we can invest, but we will do our best for each client.
Awesome. Last thought. We've got a couple minutes. So what advice would you give to someone that is like, man, I wish I could get a $22 million listing? Like what 3 things, like do this, if you want to sort of just get more consistent on the listing side of the business?
What 3 things? Well, you have to have a plan for how you're going to get your luxury listings or how you're going to get listings in general. And then consistency is the most important thing. You have to actually work the plan, have a plan, work the plan. And then just provide excellent service, and by word of mouth and reviews and all those things, the business will continue. Awesome.
So, and the plan, I mean, is part of your plan just consistently every day you're having conversations in your network? Like what's one thing that you would recommend everyone? Like if you're not doing this, you're not in the game of real estate. What's that one thing?
Oh yeah. Well, it's your 3 hours of prospecting in the morning calls.
Yeah. It's not much more complicated than that, right?
No. And it's the one thing that people don't want to do. And it's like, I've been trying to wrap my head around, how do I inspire, everybody on our team? We've been thinking about for, last year. How do we inspire everyone to just pick up that phone and make the calls? How do we encourage and inspire everyone? Because that is what you have to do. That's it. That is the business. I do not believe that I have worked that day. If I didn't make my calls in the morning, I didn't work. Even if I went on a listing appointment, even if I went on a buyer appointment, doesn't matter what I did. If I didn't make my calls, I didn't work. That's my barometer.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's the stuff that nobody really wants to believe. And I just haven't seen anyone succeed at a high level individually or with a team that doesn't instill that core pillar in the business. It's just, and the beauty of it is if every agent did it, we wouldn't be able to sell an unreasonable amount of homes.
Right.
So the beauty is that very few agents do it. And then if you just commit to doing it and having that mindset of like, hey, I literally didn't work today. I may have taken a $22 million listing today, but I didn't actually work today. That's a weird mindset.
I know.
Some people, but it's the right mindset. Like it's like the book. Did you ever read the book Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of like the whole marry the process, divorce the outcome.
Yes.
So it's like every day, Monday through Friday, 3 hours. I just have 20 meaningful conversations at a minimum. I don't stop. If I set a $22 million listing appointment at 8:13, I don't stop.
Right. I don't stop.
I've just committed to the 3 hour time block. So that's the gold right there. Awesome. And Richie, in Real Estate B School, the Janie Coffee Expired System is a tool in Real Estate B School. Not everyone on this call is in Real Estate B School, but if you're in Real Estate B School, powered by eXp Realty, or in our paid coaching program, the Janie Coffee Expired System, and it's the luxury expired system. It's really good. Megan, thank you for sharing your heart and your faith and giving it to God. I love that. Prayers for you and everyone else in all of your struggles. This is a hard business. but it really does become easy when you actually double down and do the hard stuff, right? I think it's like this oxymoron. It's kind of choose your hard. The hard, making the calls for 3 hours, or the hard of having no money, which sucks. So appreciate Megan. Give my best to your man as well. And we'll talk to everyone soon. Much love and respect. I'm here for the next 3 weeks or so, and then we've got a holiday break, but we'll see you guys soon. Thanks again, Megan.